For years, Poshmark was the absolute darling of the reselling world. It felt like a platform that was actually on your side. But one single change to its shipping policy has kicked off this massive backlash, creating a real standoff with the very community that built the whole thing. So, what on earth happened?
Wow, this quote, it really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The relationship between Poshmark and its sellers, it wasn't just about money. It really felt like a partnership, a true community. I mean, people built their entire businesses, their livelihoods on this platform. And now, for so many of them, that feeling of trust is just completely shattered. So, to really understand why everyone is so frustrated right now, we got to go back a bit. We need to look at what made Poshmark so great in the first place. For a long time, its whole system, its logistics, it was just perfectly tuned to help sellers win. The system was fast, it was efficient, and most importantly, it was profitable for them.
The old system was just this beautifully simple and super fast cycle. Think about it. A seller makes a sale, they could ship it out the very next day using free boxes from the post office, and the buyer would have it in their hands in just 1 to 3 days. As soon as that happened, funds were released almost immediately. This allowed sellers to reinvest that cash, what they call churning their capital, up to 3 times a month. It was an absolute well-oiled machine.
And then, Poshmark decided to change the engine in that machine. They announced they were switching their main shipping partner, moving away from that speedy USPS Priority Mail to the much slower USPS Ground Advantage. And this one move basically threw a giant wrench into that whole efficient cycle. Now, from Poshmark's perspective, this was probably a way to show a lower shipping cost to buyers up front, but boy, it seems like they massively underestimated the ripple effect this would have on their sellers.
Okay, let's break this down side by side so you can really see what changed. The buyer's initial shipping cost? Yeah, it went down by less than $2, which, okay, that sounds pretty good on the surface. But look at the trade-offs. Delivery time just exploded from 1 to 3 days to potentially over 9 days. And those free priority boxes that sellers totally relied on? Poof, gone. Now they have to go out and buy their own. And get this, if a buyer actually wants that old, fast shipping, the cost to upgrade has more than doubled.
So this is the really crucial point. While buyers might save a couple of dollars up front, the sellers are the ones facing this massive financial and logistical nightmare. This isn't just a small inconvenience for them, it's a direct hit to their bottom line and how they run their entire business.
So here's financial blow number 1. With shipping taking so much longer, sellers are waiting way longer to get paid. This just slashes their ability to reinvest their money. That capital churn we talked about, it's cut by 1/3, dropping from 3 times a month all the way down to just 2. For any small business, that is a huge hit to your cash flow. And here comes the second punch. Remember those free USPS boxes? Well, now sellers have to buy all their own packaging. For someone just selling a few things, that's an annoyance. But for high-volume sellers, we're talking about thousands of dollars in new expenses every single month. It's a huge new operating cost that just appeared out of nowhere.
You know what's particularly frustrating for sellers, and what really gets under their skin, is the idea that Poshmark might actually be benefiting from these delays. I mean, think about it. While a seller's money is tied up in transit, Poshmark is holding those funds in its own accounts, and they could be collecting interest on it. So the longer the delay, the more they could theoretically earn.
It is no surprise that the seller community has been incredibly vocal about this. I mean, all over social media, the frustration is just, you can feel it. It's palpable. Let's take a look at what people are actually saying.
This user on Reddit just nails the immediate practical problem. Sellers had stocked up on these free supplies, right? It was a core part of their workflow. And then, literally overnight, that entire stock of boxes became useless. It's just wasted resources now, sitting in their homes and storage units.
This post from Facebook highlights another huge part of the frustration, the way the change was announced. It just felt so sudden, like this top-down command with zero regard for how it would totally upend the businesses of the people who are the lifeblood of the platform. There was no transition, no grace period, just a hard stop. And finally, this is such a critical point. Sellers are savvy, they're business owners, and they are already comparing Poshmark to its rivals. This Instagram user points out that even with the new, lower price, competitors like Whatnot still offer better rates for all those smaller, lighter items. Poshmark's edge in the market, it's disappearing, fast.
So what happens when you alienate your most important users? Well, they leave. And that's what we're seeing right now. Many are calling it the Great Seller Exodus, as thousands of Poshmark entrepreneurs are actively packing up shop and moving their businesses to other platforms.
And it's not like they're short on options. Live sellers are flocking to Whatnot for that fast-paced, auction-style energy. Others are heading back to the old standby, eBay, for its massive global audience. A lot of sellers are finding surprising success and profitability on TikTok Shop, of all places. And then you've got others who just want more control, so they're going to places like Depop or even starting their own Shopify stores. Poshmark's loss is definitely their competitors' gain.
This really puts the whole decision into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, we live in a world defined by Amazon Prime. Customers have been trained to expect fast, free, 2-day shipping. Competitors like Shein and Temu are winning by delivering things faster and cheaper than anyone thought possible. And in that environment, Poshmark made the truly baffling decision to intentionally get slower.
So this all brings us to the ultimate question for the future of the platform. Poshmark was built from the ground up by its community of sellers, but now that very same community feels betrayed. The question for everyone involved, sellers, buyers, and Poshmark itself is this the breaking point? For anyone listening, are you sticking with Poshmark or is it finally time to move on?